Hello everybody, welcome everybody to my YouTube channel Parui Academy. I am Indrajit Parui, again in front of you in my channel Parui Academy. Now I tell you regarding the details concept of Java language, and hope after watching my all the series regarding the Java, which will publish one after another, who are totally new in programming, hope they must know to write down program in Java. And it's my motto, everyone who like computer programming must be a future coder on Java. I try to discuss all the program related things on Java in a very easy and simplified way, not in a complicated way. In previous video, I discussed that before go to the Java programming or starting the program coding, I must discuss about the algorithms and flowchart, because these are the base of any programming language. If algorithm and flowchart is clear to anybody, then he or she can write down any program or understand any program easily. So these are the basic things before starting learning any programming language. Today, at first, I discuss about the algorithm. What is algorithm? An algorithm is a set of instructions written step by step sequentially for performing any tasks. It is possible to have an algorithm for preparing a cup of tea, or maybe for making a grilled sandwich, or any other which is related to our everyday life. So, in every aspect of our life, algorithm is related to our everyday work. So, we can simply say that anything else, when we write down step by step in English with the help of a sentence or in the structure of a sentence by using the English language, then it's a algorithm. For example, we can say that how we can make a cup of tea. When we discuss these things in simple sentence in English, step by step, or what steps comes after which steps, then the total figure which told us the total procedure of making a tea, then it's called a algorithm. Now I discuss what are the basic characteristics of a good algorithm. The basic characteristics of a good algorithm are: number one, input. Number one is input. What is input? The algorithm may take some inputs and produces outputs. So, algorithm take inputs and then it produces outputs based on the processing applied on the inputs. Number two, correctness. An algorithm should give the correct answer to solve the problem or any problem. All instructions need to be well defined. Functional correctness come with the correct and expected behavior and output after giving the inputs. So after giving the correct inputs, we must get the correct output. Next one is precision. Next one is precision. Now what is precision? Precise means, when we discussing precision, then we must say precise means exact and accurate. Precise means exact and accurate. Each step of the algorithm should clearly specify, must clearly specify what needs to be done. The steps should be defined in the correct order to get correct results. If the order is not correct, then algorithm never give correct output or correct results. Next one is feasibility. What is feasibility? The steps of the algorithm should be practically possible to achieve with the available resources. Next one, finite. An algorithm always has a start and an end point. It needs to end after some steps to achieve the completion, to get the completion. Next one is generality. A good algorithm should be applicable in generic situations by taking some inputs. The algorithm should work well. In a broad range of situations and adapt well when new situation arise. For example, we can say an algorithm that calculates and writes the table of a number should be able to do any show for number and not for a specific fixed one. Last one or last point is output. This is the final. An algorithm is written to solve a problem. So why we write down an algorithm? To get a solution of any problem. So an algorithm is written to solve a problem. Therefore, it must produce an output. Now I discuss what are the advantages. Why we do algorithm? What are the basic advantages of doing algorithm? Or why we do algorithm? So basic advantages of algorithm are very easy to write in simple English. Algorithm is very easy to write in simple English, in simple sentence. Number 2, easy technique to understand the logic. Next one is easy identification of the errors by a non-IT person as it is written in simple English. So I can say anybody who know English, he must write down algorithm and he or she must understand the algorithm which is written by any other person. But basic things is that he must understand the English language. Now I tell you about the disadvantages of algorithm. Everything has an advantage and it has also some disadvantages. So what are the disadvantages of algorithm? Point number 1, it's a time consuming method. As it is an additional task before programming. Number 2, difficult. It's very difficult to show branching and looping. It's very difficult to show branching and looping. But when we write down any big program, then branching and looping is essential. Point number 3. Complex tasks are difficult to write an algorithm. Complex tasks are difficult to write in algorithm. Now, I go to the steps to develop a good algorithm. Steps to develop a good algorithm. Number 1. Problem description or specification. At first, we need to describe the problem with particular specification. Point number 2. Problem analysis. We must analyze the problem. How we can solve the problem. We must analyze the problem. Point number 3. High-level algorithm. High-level algorithm development. High-level algorithm development. Point number 4. Algorithm refinement. Algorithm refinement and detailing. So we must detailing the matter, we must detailing the subject step by step. And last point is we must review the algorithm. We must review the algorithm. These are the basic steps to develop a good algorithm. Next, I discuss what are the basic problem description area or problem specification area. Number 1, it depends on assumptions and those assumptions may not be even known. It depends on assumption and those assumptions may not be even known to us. Point number 2, the description may be ambiguous. Point number 3, the description may be incomplete. Point number 4, the description has some contradictions. The description has some contradictions. How we analyze the problem? During problem analysis, for initiating the process, to know the starting point, we could ask some questions. From the available problem descriptions. Number 1, what is the available data? What is the availability of the data? What data would need to be inputted? Next point, where is that data or who will provide the data? Next point is, what formulas can be used? What types of formula can be used for solving this problem? And last one is, any rules or validations that can be applied on the data. Any rules or validation that can be applied on the data. We can asking some questions which I discuss now, which helps us to determine an algorithm. Point number 1, what items or values will need to be changed during the process? What changes would need to be made to those items? What things will no longer exist at the end? And the last one is, any additional constraints or requirements. Last, now which I discuss, how develop a high-level algorithm. Point 1 or step 1. It I discuss by giving an example. by giving with example. Suppose step 1, pour water in a tea pan. Why? For making a tea, for making a cup of tea. What are the basic steps? Step 1, first step is pour water in a tea pan. Second step, after pouring the water in a tea pan, add sugar. Next, what do you do? Add tea leaves. Next step, boil the above mixture. What mixture? Tea leaves, sugar and water. Boil the above mixture. Now, after that, add some milk and boil again. Then, at the last steps, now sieve and serve. Now the tea is fully prepared to serve to anybody. In this algorithm, there are some lacks of details. To carry out the correct solutions. What are the lack of details for making a tea algorithm? To sort out lack of the details, we ask some questions. What are the questions? Number 1, how many cups of tea need to be prepared? Next, how many cups of water, milk need to be added? After that, how many spoons of sugar and tea leaves to be added? And the last one is, until when the mixture needs to be boiled after adding milk? If we sort out the answer of these questions, then the algorithm of tea making is proper and it gives us proper solutions of making tea. Now I discuss algorithm, refinement and detailing. How we detailing the algorithm. So now the topic is algorithm, detailing and refinement. A high-level algorithm shows the major steps that need to be followed to solve a problem. Now, it's needed to add further details to these steps. When our goal is to develop algorithms that will lead to computer programs, we need to consider the capabilities of the computer and computer language and provide enough details so that someone else could use our algorithm to write a computer program easily that follows the steps in our algorithm. Now next topic is review the algorithm. At last, we review the algorithm. We need to review the algorithm step by step to determine whether or not it will solve the original problem. An algorithm can be reviewed for the following parameters. What are the basic parameters? Does it provide the correct solutions? Next, can this algorithm be simplified? And the last one is, does this algorithm solve a very specific problem or does it solve a more general problem? If it solves a very specific problem, can it be generalized? At last, in today's video, now I discuss with you how we write down an algorithm for a Java program. The question is, write an algorithm to multiply two numbers whose values are 15 and 8 respectively. So how we write down the algorithm? Step 1, start. First start. Step 2, let the first number be 15. Let the first number be 15. Step 3, let the second number be 8. Let the second number be 8. Step number 4, now multiply both the numbers. Which are the numbers? 15 and 8. Now multiply both the numbers. After that, step 5, display or print the result. So we get the result. Last step, stop. Last step is stop. So one is the start point and the another one is the stop point. This is the start, this is the stop. Other things is within this part. So it's very easy to understand or write down the algorithm. In next video, I give you some example of real algorithm which is related to Java program. That means program based algorithm, which we require when we write down Java program. Today's video, now I wind up here. Hope everybody must well, everybody must take care. I again in front of you, Indrajit Parvi again in front of you at 8 p.m. every day in Parvi Academy to learn many things regarding the coding, regarding the program, regarding the technology. Everybody must watch Indrajit Parvi in Parvi Academy every day at 8 p.m. One request, if you like my videos, if you get minimum help after watching my video, it helps you to improve your knowledge, you must share it, subscribe it, and don't forget to click on the bell icon to get the notification of the further video. See you again at 8 p.m. next day in Parvi Academy.